From electric vehicles that could have made gas stations obsolete to sports cars that looked unreal for its time. Here are 8 American concept cars from the 1980s that should have been made. Number 8, Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor, 1986. Back in the mid-80s, Dodge decided to do something wild. Instead of rolling out another regular muscle car or family sedan, they teamed up with PPG Industries to build what was basically a supercar, the Dodge M4S Turbo Interceptor. Now, this thing didn't just look like a spaceship, it was a spaceship on wheels. Super low, super sleek, black paint that looked like it could swallow light. The whole vibe was futuristic, and it wasn't just for show. Under the hood, it had a 2.2-liter turbocharged engine pushing 440 horsepower. That's insane for a car like that, especially coming from an American company in the 80s. It could hit almost 200 miles per hour. But here's the thing, this wasn't meant for dealerships. Dodge wasn't planning on selling these. It was basically a flex, like, hey, look what we could build if we really wanted to. And then Hollywood came calling. Ever seen The Wraith? Yep, that's the M4S tearing up the screen, racing, exploding, and looking like something from another planet. Only a few prototypes were ever made, but car nerds still talk about it today. It was one of those what-if cars, like, what if Dodge had actually gone head-to-head with Ferrari or Porsche back then? Even though it never made it to production, the M4S left its mark. Fast, futuristic, and way ahead of its time. Number 7. Briggs & Stratton Hybrid, 1980. If you thought an electric wagon from a battery company was bold, wait till you see what a lawnmower engine giant did with 6 wheels and a hybrid setup. Briggs & Stratton, the company best known for powering lawnmowers and snowblowers, shocked the world in 1980 by stepping into the automotive scene. In the middle of another round of skyrocketing gas prices, they decided to go big and build a hybrid car. Yep, the folks who make your grandpa's snowblower took a break from clearing driveways and rolled out a fuel-efficient machine that could have started the hybrid trend decades before Toyota even thought about it. Now, let's address the weirdest part of this hybrid. It had 6 wheels. Yes, 6. 4 in the back, 2 in the front, like a gigantic reverse tricycle. And while it may have looked like a futuristic go-kart, it actually worked. Compact, weirdly cool, and with an attitude that screamed, "I'm different and I know it." Under the hood, and probably under some seats, was an 18-horsepower gas engine paired with a 13 kilowatts electric motor. Sadly, the Briggs hybrid never made it past the prototype stage, but looking back, it's clear it was ahead of its time. A 6-wheeled gas-electric hatchback in 1980? That could have been the game changer if only anyone had taken it seriously. If it had hit production, we might all be cruising around in 6-wheeled eco-rockets instead of still debating gas prices. Number 6, Corvette Indie, 1986. After the quirky Briggs & Stratton hybrid gave us a glimpse of what could have been, GM decided to take things to a whole new level. Enter the Corvette Indie. The Corvette Indie was not just a concept car, it was GM throwing down the gauntlet. Created in 1986, it was GM's wild take on a supercar, blending futuristic design with insane performance. Forget the old front-engine muscle cars, this thing was mid-engine with the power sitting right behind the driver. American automakers usually steered clear of mid-engine designs, but GM was not afraid to break the mold. They went all in, with all-wheel drive, all-wheel steering, and a Lotus-designed suspension, giving it a European flair but wrapped in classic American style. Under the hood, the Corvette Indie packed a twin-turbo V8 pushing over 600 horsepower in the 1980s. That's a whole lot of muscle when most cars were barely hitting 150. But it was not just about raw power. It had brains, too. The Corvette Indie featured traction control, drive-by-wire systems, and even a CRT touchscreen with GPS navigation in 1986, when most people were still getting lost with paper maps. Visually, it looked like a spaceship that decided to join a car show. Low, curvy, and aggressive, it was built for speed with minimal space and maximum performance, just like an Indy car. Unfortunately, it never made it to production. Though it inspired future Corvettes, the Corvette Indie stayed a concept, a what could have been. Had it hit the road, it could have gone toe-to-toe with Ferraris and Lamborghinis, changing the game for American cars forever. Number 5. Pontiac Pursuit, 1987. After the Corvette Indie wowed us with its futuristic features, Pontiac decided to take a different approach in 1987 with the Pursuit, a concept car that was basically Knight Rider's offspring with a fighter jet, all hopped up on turbochargers and circuit boards. If you could imagine a car designed by tech geeks and speed junkies, this would be it. Sadly, it stayed just a concept, like a teaser for a sequel that never came. In the 80s, Pontiac was desperate to shake off its grandpa car reputation, and the Pursuit was their boldest move yet. Sleek, low, and so aerodynamic, you half expected it to take off. It looked like someone had stripped the wings off an F-16 and slapped a license plate on it. But the design was not just eye-catching. It was revolutionary. The steering wheel was not your average wheel. It was a button-filled command center, like something out of a spaceship. The digital dashboard made analog gauges look like fossils, and it had drive-by-wire steering. In 1987, when most cars were still using good old mechanical linkages. Talk about ahead of its time. Under the hood, the Pursuit packed a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that produced 200 horsepower. While that might not raise any eyebrows today, in the 80s, it was a solid punch. Paired with its lightweight design and aerodynamic shape, the Pursuit was not just fast, it felt fast. But what truly set it apart was its philosophy. Precision, efficiency, and futuristic tech. The Pursuit was Pontiac's chance to go after a new crowd, tech-savvy, eco-conscious drivers who still craved speed. Sadly, it never saw production. Instead, we got more Grand Ams, and the Pursuit became a what could have been in the Automotive Hall of Fame. Number 4. Pontiac Trans Sport, 1986. Pontiac was not done surprising people. After showing off the sporty and futuristic Pursuit, they turned their attention to something totally different, the family minivan. But of course, Pontiac did not just make any boring box on wheels. They came up with the 1986 Trans Sport, which, with its long glass canopy, swooping wedge shape, and gull-wing rear doors, looked more of a spaceship. If aliens landed and offered to take someone for a ride, they might show up in this thing. It was sleek, futuristic, and totally unlike anything else on the road at the time. Inside, Pontiac kept the space-age theme going. The dashboard was full of digital gauges, and the whole cockpit gave off strong pilot vibes instead of soccer parent vibes. It felt high-tech, even cool, which was unheard of for a minivan in the 80s. But it was not just about looks. The Trans Sport was also designed to be practical, with a roomy interior and a smooth driving experience. Pontiac wanted to prove that a minivan could be both useful and exciting, and honestly, they were onto something. Unfortunately, when the production version finally came out a few years later, most of that wild design was toned way down. The cool doors were gone, and the sharp lines were softened. What we got was the much less exciting dust-buster van. Useful, sure, but nothing like the original concept. The 1986 Transport showed that even a family car could turn heads. It could have changed the way people looked at minivans. If only Pontiac had stuck with the original vision. Number 3. Oldsmobile Aerotech, 1987. From spacey minivans to straight-up speed demons, the 80s had it all, and Oldsmobile was not about to be left out. Buckle up, because this next one didn't just look fast, it was fast. By 1987, Oldsmobile had earned a reputation for being the granddad of car brands. Safe, slow, and beige. But then came the Oldsmobile Aerotech, and suddenly, Grandpa was cruising through a midlife crisis in a jet-powered beast. This was not your average concept car. With a sleek, missile-shaped body and a fighter jet canopy, the Aerotech looked like something out of a Bond movie. Too cool to be real. Talking about the engine, it was a turbocharged quad-4 engine mounted on an Indie car chassis. Not your everyday four-cylinder. This car shattered speed records, hitting 257 miles per hour on a closed course, a feat that would put it in Bugatti territory today. And the crazy part was that it was not even built for production. It was a PR stunt to showcase Oldsmobile's engineering prowess. The Aerotech was all about speed. Its body was aerodynamic perfection, fine-tuned in a wind tunnel to cut through air effortlessly. Active aerodynamics and multiple versions, including a long-tail model, made it look like it might actually take flight. And in a way, it did. So why did it not go into production? Simple. It was never meant to. But it should have been. This car could have been rebranded Oldsmobile and became a legendary footnote admired by enthusiasts but forgotten by most. Imagine if Oldsmobile had the guts to sell a version. The streets might have been full of Oldsmobiles that did not just move, but flew. Number 2. Ford AFV, 1982. After hitting record-breaking speeds with the Aerotech, it was time to slow things down a bit and think smarter, not faster. Enter Ford's AFV. In 1982, when gas prices were giving everyone a heart attack and fuel efficiency was a literal lifesaver, Ford decided to launch the Ford AFV, Advanced Fuel Vehicle, which sounds a little like a science fair project, but had some serious ambition behind it. The AFV was not about flashy design or jaw-dropping specs. No gull-wing doors or jet engines here. It was a quiet overachiever, compact and understated, but with a vision to think about sustainability before we run out of gas. While other 80s concepts screamed for attention, the AFV calmly suggested we might want to make the switch to alternative fuels, back when microwaves were the peak of modern tech. At its core, the AFV was about flexibility. It could run on gasoline, methanol, ethanol, or whatever fuel Ford decided to throw at it. This kind of versatility feels normal now, but in the 80s, the AFV did not break any speed records, but it was ahead of its time. It addressed real-world issues like fuel shortages and rising costs. So why did it not make it to production? Because in the 80s, eco-friendly was not exactly the coolest thing. Still, had Ford gone for it, they could have been alt-fuel pioneers. Instead, we got a concept car that whispered, "I see the future." And unfortunately, the future did not listen. Number 1. Pontiac Stinger, 1989. While Ford was busy solving the fuel crisis, Pontiac was back in the lab cooking up something a little more playful. The Pontiac Stinger. A bold what-if wrapped in sleek lines and turbocharged dreams. Unveiled in 1989, Pontiac aimed to create a small, affordable sports coupe that did not just look fast, but actually felt fast. Without the insane price tag of a 200 miles per hour supercar. With its turbo power, aggressive styling, and a name that screamed cool but tough, the Stinger embodied everything the 80s adored. Compact, lightweight, and built for agility, the Stinger was designed to zip through corners like it had a rocket strapped to its back. The body was muscular and ready to take on tight, twisty roads, and the aggressive styling gave it a bold, fast, and confident presence. Under the hood, the Stinger was rumored to pack a turbocharged engine that kept it fun and practical, without entering the realm of track-only cars. It did not need a V8 to turn heads. Its lightweight frame and punchy performance were enough to make jaws drop on the street. But the real drama was that it was not meant to be a rare, unattainable supercar. The Stinger was intended to be affordable and fun, something the average driver could enjoy. Sadly, it was too niche for the public and not aggressive enough for sports car fans. Pontiac moved on, and the Stinger became just another dust-covered concept. What could have been a true contender to cars like the Mazda MX-5. A missed opportunity, and yeah, we're still stinging from it. And there you have it, a collection of 1980s concept cars that never made it past the drawing board, but definitely deserved to. It's a shame they did not make it, but at least they will always live on in the minds of gearheads and car lovers. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll see their spirit come back in a new form. Until then, keep dreaming of the rides that almost were. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more automotive gems from the past.